In the small, quaint town of Eldoria, nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, stories of the supernatural were as common as the mist that clung to the ground every morning. Eldoria's most famous legend, whispered among villagers and passed down through generations, was the tale of the phantom train. According to the elders, the phantom train appeared only once every 50 years, emerging from the whispering woods on nights when the moon was full and the air was thick with anticipation. It was said to be a spectral locomotive, its ghostly form shimmering as it glided along tracks that no longer existed. Those who were brave enough to board the train would embark on a journey to the unknown, a place where dreams and nightmares intertwined, and the boundaries of reality were blurred. As the 50th anniversary of the last sighting approached, a sense of unease settled over Eldoria. The town's younger generation, led by the adventurous and curious Amelia Hart, were skeptical of the old tales. Amelia, a journalist for the local newspaper, had always been fascinated by the legend of the phantom train. Unlike her peers, she believed there was more to the story and was determined to uncover the truth. One crisp autumn evening, as the moon began its ascent into the sky, Amelia gathered her friends at the edge of the whispering woods. Among them were Lucas, a tech-savvy engineer with a knack for solving puzzles, Elena, an artist with a keen eye for detail, and Jake, a historian who had spent countless hours researching the town's legends. "Are we really doing this?" Lucas asked, his voice tinged with both excitement and apprehension. Amelia nodded, her eyes gleaming with determination. "We have to. If the phantom train is real, tonight's our chance to find it." With flashlights in hand and hearts pounding, the group ventured into the whispering woods. The trees seemed to whisper secrets as the wind rustled their leaves, and an eerie silence settled over the forest. They followed the old, overgrown path that was said to lead to the train's last known location. Hours passed, and just as the moon reached its zenith, a low, haunting whistle echoed through the woods. The friends exchanged nervous glances, their breath visible in the cool night air. "Do you hear that?" Elena whispered, clutching her sketchbook tightly. "It's coming from over there," Jake said, pointing towards a clearing up ahead. They quickened their pace, and as they emerged from the trees, they saw it, the phantom train. It was more magnificent and terrifying than they had imagined, its spectral form glowing with an otherworldly light. The train's carriages were adorned with intricate designs, and its windows shimmered like liquid glass. Without hesitation, Amelia led the group towards the train. The door to the first carriage opened with a creak, and they stepped inside. The interior was a blend of old-world charm and ethereal beauty, with plush velvet seats and chandeliers that cast a soft, ghostly glow. "Welcome, travelers," a voice said, startling them. They turned to see a figure standing at the end of the carriage, dressed in a conductor's uniform from a bygone era. His eyes glowed with a mysterious light, and a faint smile played on his lips. "I am the conductor," he said, tipping his hat. "You have boarded the phantom train, and now your journey to the unknown begins." As the train began to move, the friends felt a strange sensation, as if they were floating rather than riding on rails. The conductor motioned for them to take their seats, and they did so, their eyes wide with wonder and apprehension. "You must have many questions," the conductor said, his voice gentle yet authoritative. "And in time, you will find your answers. But first, allow me to introduce you to your fellow passengers." The friends looked around, noticing for the first time that they were not alone. The carriage was filled with other travelers, each with a story etched into their faces. There was a woman in a flowing gown, her eyes filled with sorrow, a man in a soldier's uniform, his expression stoic and determined, and a child clutching a worn teddy bear, his eyes wide with innocence and curiosity. "These are the spirits of those who have ridden the phantom train before you," the conductor explained. "Each of them has a purpose, a reason for their journey. And so do you." Amelia's heart raced as she absorbed the conductor's words. "What do you mean by a purpose?" she asked. "Every traveler on this train is here for a reason," the conductor replied. "Some seek closure, others seek redemption, and some are searching for answers to questions that have haunted them for a lifetime. The train will guide you to where you need to go, but the journey will not be easy." The train's gentle motion and the rhythmic sound of its wheels created a hypnotic atmosphere. As the friends settled into their seats, the landscape outside the windows began to change. The dense forest gave way to a vast, moonlit plain, and the stars above seemed to dance in time with the train's movement. "Where are we going?" Lucas asked, his curiosity piqued. "To the unknown," the conductor replied simply. "A place where the past, present, and future converge. A realm where you will confront your deepest fears and uncover hidden truths." Elena clutched her sketchbook, her mind racing with possibilities. "What will we find there?" The conductor's eyes twinkled with an enigmatic light. "That is for you to discover. But know this, the journey will test you in ways you cannot yet imagine. Trust in yourselves and in each other, and you may find what you seek." As the train chugged onward, the friends exchanged glances, their resolve solidifying. They had embarked on this journey together, and together they would face whatever lay ahead. Hours seemed to pass in a blur as the train carried them deeper into the unknown. The landscape outside the windows shifted constantly, from rolling hills to dark forests, and even to desolate wastelands where the sky was an eerie shade of green. The friends remained silent, each lost in their thoughts. Suddenly, the train began to slow down, and the conductor reappeared. "Our first stop," he announced, "is the Hall of Mirrors. Here, you will face reflections of your inner selves. Only by confronting what you see can you move forward." The friends disembarked, finding themselves in front of a grand, ornate building that seemed to shimmer in the moonlight. The entrance was flanked by statues of mythical creatures, their eyes seeming to follow the group as they approached. Inside, the Hall of Mirrors was a labyrinth of reflective surfaces, each one distorting and twisting the images they captured. As they ventured deeper, the air grew thick with an unspoken tension. Amelia was the first to come face to face with her reflection. But it wasn't just a simple mirror image, it was a version of herself that looked tired and worn, burdened by unspoken fears and doubts. "What do you want from me?" Amelia asked her reflection, her voice trembling. The reflection smiled sadly. "To understand yourself, you must first acknowledge the fears that hold you back. Only then can you find the strength to overcome them." As Amelia grappled with her inner turmoil, Lucas, Elena, and Jake faced their own reflections. Lucas saw a version of himself that was constantly second-guessing his abilities. Elena saw a reflection that was haunted by self-doubt about her artistic talents, and Jake confronted a version of himself burdened by guilt over past mistakes. Each of them wrestled with their reflections, the hall echoing with their struggles and revelations. Time seemed to stretch endlessly, but eventually they emerged from the Hall of Mirrors, their faces marked with newfound determination. The conductor awaited them at the exit, his expression unreadable. "You have faced the first trial," he said, "but many more lie ahead. Are you ready to continue?" The friends nodded, their resolve unshaken. They had taken the first step on their journey to the unknown, and there was no turning back now. The train resumed its journey, carrying the friends further into the unknown. As they settled back into their seats, the conductor provided them with hot tea and blankets, sensing their exhaustion from the trials in the Hall of Mirrors. "Rest for a while," he advised. "The next stop is the River of Memories. It will not be an easy journey." The friends took his advice, allowing themselves a brief respite. The gentle rocking of the train lulled them into a fitful sleep, each of them dreaming of the challenges they had faced and the ones yet to come. When they awoke, the train had come to a stop by a tranquil river that sparkled under the light of 1,000 stars. The water flowed gently, its surface reflecting the memories of those who had traveled here before. "This is the river of memories," the conductor said, leading them to the riverbank. "To cross it, you must each retrieve a memory that holds great significance to you. Only then will you be able to proceed." Amelia stepped forward, gazing into the water. Images swirled beneath the surface, memories of her childhood, her family, and the moment she decided to become a journalist. She reached into the river, feeling a strange sensation as she pulled out a glowing orb that encapsulated a memory of her late grandmother, who had inspired her to seek the truth and embrace her curiosity. The memory orb pulsed gently in Amelia's hand, radiating a warmth that filled her with a sense of peace and clarity. As she held it close, she felt a renewed connection to her purpose and her grandmother's unwavering belief in her. Lucas approached the river next, the water reflecting scenes from his past, the countless hours spent tinkering with gadgets, his first successful invention, and the day he lost his father, who had always been his greatest supporter. With a deep breath, he reached into the river and retrieved a memory of his father, encouraging him to pursue his passion for engineering and innovation. The memory orb glowed brightly, filling Lucas with a sense of confidence and determination. Elena followed, her eyes scanning the river for a memory that resonated with her. The water revealed moments of artistic triumphs and failures, and the unwavering support of her mother, who had always pushed her to express herself through art. She retrieved a memory of her mother presenting her with her first set of paints, a moment that had ignited her passion for creativity. The orb's light enveloped Elena, filling her with a sense of purpose and inspiration. Finally, it was Jake's turn. The river showed him memories of his academic achievements, the mistakes he had made, and the guilt he carried for letting down those who depended on him. He reached into the water and pulled out a memory of his mentor, Professor Callahan, who had taught him that history was not just about facts, but about understanding the human experience. The memory orb's glow instilled in Jake a sense of forgiveness and a renewed commitment to his quest for knowledge. With their memory orbs in hand, the friends returned to the conductor, who watched them with a knowing smile. "You have each found a piece of your past that holds great significance. These memories will guide you through the challenges ahead." The friends reboarded the train, feeling a renewed sense of purpose and camaraderie. As the train resumed its journey, the landscape outside began to change once more. The river of memories faded into the distance, replaced by a vast desert under a sky filled with swirling clouds. The train chugged steadily onward, carrying the friends into the heart of the desert of doubt. The sand dunes stretched as far as the eye could see, and a harsh wind whipped through the air, creating an oppressive atmosphere. The conductor appeared in their carriage, his expression grave. The desert of doubt is a place where your deepest insecurities and fears will manifest. To pass through it, you must confront these doubts head-on and find the strength to believe in yourselves. The train came to a halt, and the friends disembarked, feeling the scorching heat of the desert sun. The sand beneath their feet was hot and shifting, making it difficult to find their footing. As they ventured deeper into the desert, the air grew thick with an unsettling sense of unease. Amelia was the first to encounter her doubts. Visions of failure and ridicule swirled around her, whispering that she would never uncover the truth about the phantom train and that her curiosity would lead her to ruin. She felt the weight of these doubts pressing down on her, but she clutched her memory orb tightly, remembering her grandmother's unwavering belief in her. With a deep breath, she pushed through the doubt, determined to prove herself. Lucas found himself facing doubts about his abilities as an engineer. The desert conjured images of failed projects and critical voices telling him he was not good enough. He felt his confidence waver, but the memory of his father's encouragement gave him the strength to persevere. He reminded himself of the countless hours of hard work and dedication he had put into his craft, and he refused to let doubt defeat him. Elena's doubts took the form of self-criticism, telling her that her art was meaningless and that she would never create anything of true value. The harsh desert wind seemed to echo these sentiments, but the memory of her mother's support gave her the resolve to push back. She reminded herself that art was about expression and that her creations had touched the lives of others in ways she might never fully understand. Jake's doubts revolved around his sense of guilt and responsibility. The desert presented him with visions of those he felt he had let down and mistakes he could not undo. He felt overwhelmed by the weight of these doubts, but the memory of Professor Callahan's teachings gave him the strength to forgive himself. He remembered that understanding history meant accepting the complexities of the human experience, including his own. As they faced their doubts and insecurities, the friends found themselves drawing strength from each other. They supported one another, sharing words of encouragement and reminding each other of their shared purpose. Slowly but surely, they began to overcome the oppressive atmosphere of the desert, their doubts fading into the background. The train emerged from the desert of doubt, and the friends breathed a collective sigh of relief as they boarded once more. The landscape outside began to change, the harsh desert giving way to a lush, vibrant valley filled with blooming flowers and towering trees. "The next stop on your journey is the Gate of Choices," the conductor announced. "Here, you will be faced with decisions that will shape the remainder of your journey. Choose wisely, for each choice will lead you down a different path." The train came to a stop in front of a grand gate made of intertwining branches and glowing with an ethereal light. The friends stepped off the train, feeling a sense of anticipation and trepidation. As they approached the gate, it began to shimmer, revealing 3 distinct paths beyond it. Each path seemed to lead to a different part of the valley, and the air was filled with the sound of birdsong and the rustling of leaves. "The path you choose will determine the trials you face and the lessons you learn," the conductor explained. "Trust your instincts and remember the memories you hold." Amelia, Lucas, Elena, and Jake exchanged glances, knowing that their choices would shape their journey. They took a moment to reflect on their experiences so far, drawing strength from the memories they had retrieved and the doubts they had overcome. "I think we should each choose a path that resonates with us," Amelia suggested. "We can cover more ground and learn more that way." The friends agreed, each feeling a pull towards a different path. Amelia chose the path to the left, which led through a dense, mystical forest. Lucas selected the path in the center, which meandered through a serene meadow dotted with wildflowers. Elena took the path to the right, which wound its way up a rocky hillside. Jake decided to follow a hidden trail that branched off from the center path, leading towards a secluded glade. As they parted ways, the friends promised to reunite at the train, no matter what challenges they faced. Amelia ventured into the mystical forest, feeling a sense of wonder and curiosity. The trees were ancient and towering, their branches forming a natural canopy that filtered the sunlight into dappled patterns on the forest floor. The air was filled with the scent of pine and the sounds of nature, creating a peaceful yet mysterious atmosphere. As she walked deeper into the forest, Amelia encountered various creatures and phenomena that seemed to be testing her resolve and curiosity. She came across a wise old owl who spoke in riddles, challenging her to solve them in order to continue. She navigated a maze of thorns and brambles, relying on her intuition and keen observation skills to find her way through. At the heart of the forest, Amelia discovered a hidden glade where a crystal-clear pond reflected the sky above. In the center of the pond was a small island, and on the island stood a single, ancient tree with golden leaves. Drawn to its beauty and significance, Amelia waded through the water and reached the island. The tree seemed to pulse with energy, and as Amelia touched its trunk, she felt a surge of clarity and insight. Visions of the past, present, and future flashed before her eyes, showing her the interconnectedness of all things and the importance of seeking the truth. She realized that her journey was not just about uncovering the mystery of the phantom train, but about understanding her place in the world and the impact she could have. With renewed determination and a deeper sense of purpose, Amelia made her way back to the train, eager to reunite with her friends and share what she had learned. Lucas followed the path through the serene meadow, feeling a sense of calm and contentment. The wildflowers swayed gently in the breeze, and the air was filled with the hum of bees and the songs of birds. The meadows seemed to stretch endlessly, offering a peaceful respite from the challenges of the journey. As he walked, Lucas encountered various mechanical puzzles and contraptions scattered throughout the meadow. Each one required him to use his engineering skills and ingenuity to solve. He repaired a broken windmill, restored a malfunctioning water wheel, and deciphered complex codes that unlocked hidden pathways. At the center of the meadow, Lucas discovered an old, abandoned workshop filled with tools and blueprints. He spent hours exploring the workshop, marveling at the intricate designs and inventions left behind by a master engineer. As he examined the blueprints, he realized that many of the designs were similar to his own, and he felt a deep connection to the unknown inventor. In a moment of inspiration, Lucas decided to complete one of the unfinished inventions, a clockwork bird that had been left in pieces. He carefully assembled the bird, infusing it with his own creativity and skill. When he finished, the clockwork bird came to life, its wings flapping and its eyes glowing with a gentle light. The bird flew around the workshop before perching on Lucas's shoulder, a symbol of his ingenuity and determination. Elena climbed the rocky hillside, feeling the strain in her muscles and the sharp bite of the wind. The path was steep and challenging, but she pressed on, driven by her desire to prove her artistic worth. As she ascended, she encountered breathtaking vistas that took her breath away, each one more beautiful than the last. At various points along the path, Elena found easels with blank canvases and pots of paint. She felt compelled to capture the scenes before her, pouring her heart and soul into each painting. She painted the vibrant colors of a sunrise, the serene beauty of a mountain lake, and the majestic sweep of the valley below. As she continued to climb, Elena encountered a series of sculptures carved into the mountainside. Each sculpture depicted a different aspect of human emotion, joy, sorrow, love, and anger. Inspired by these works of art, Elena felt a surge of creativity and determination. She began to see the world around her as a canvas filled with endless possibilities. At the peak of the hillside, Elena discovered a stone pedestal with a single, glowing brush resting on top. The brush seemed to hum with energy, and as Elena picked it up, she felt a connection to every artist who had ever wielded a brush. She realized that her art had the power to touch lives and change the world, and that her journey was about more than proving herself. It was about embracing her gift and using it to inspire others. With the glowing brush in hand and a newfound sense of purpose, Elena descended the hillside and made her way back to the train. Jake followed the hidden trail to a secluded glade, feeling a sense of tranquility and introspection. The glade was filled with ancient trees and a soft, dappled light that created a serene atmosphere. As he walked, Jake felt the weight of his past mistakes and regrets pressing down on him. In the center of the glade, he found a circle of standing stones, each one inscribed with symbols and runes from different cultures and time periods. The stones seemed to pulse with a mysterious energy, and Jake felt drawn to them. As he examined the runes, he realized that they told the stories of those who had come before him, stories of triumph and failure, wisdom and folly. Jake sat in the center of the circle, closing his eyes and allowing himself to be enveloped by the history around him. Visions of his own past mistakes and successes flashed before his eyes, and he felt a deep sense of connection to the people who had walked similar paths. He understood that his journey was not just about seeking knowledge, but about learning from the past and using the knowledge to shape the future. As he opened his eyes, Jake noticed a small, ancient book resting at the base of one of the stones. He picked it up and opened it, finding it filled with blank pages. With a sense of reverence, he realized that this book was meant for him to record his own journey, his own lessons, and his own story. Filled with a sense of forgiveness and determination, Jake stood up and made his way back to the train, ready to share what he had learned with his friends. Back at the train, Amelia, Lucas, Elena, and Jake reunited, their faces filled with a mix of exhaustion and triumph. They shared their experiences and the lessons they had learned, each of them feeling a deeper sense of connection to their purpose and to each other. The conductor watched them with a satisfied smile. You have faced the trials of the unknown with courage and determination. You have learned about yourselves and each other. But your journey is not yet complete. The final destination lies ahead. The friends boarded the train, feeling a renewed sense of purpose and camaraderie. The train chugged onward, carrying them towards the final destination, a place where their journey would culminate in a revelation that would change their lives forever. As the train neared its final destination, the landscape outside became increasingly surreal and otherworldly. The sky was a deep shade of twilight, and the air was filled with a palpable sense of anticipation. The train slowed to a halt at the edge of a vast valley filled with swirling mists and shadows. This is the Valley of Shadows, the conductor explained. Here, you will confront the ultimate test, a confrontation with the deepest, darkest parts of your soul. Only by facing these shadows can you truly understand yourselves and complete your journey. The friends disembarked, feeling a mixture of fear and determination. The valley was filled with an eerie silence, and the mist seemed to shift and change shape as they moved. They walked together, their steps echoing in the stillness. As they ventured deeper into the valley, each of them began to encounter manifestations of their deepest fears and regrets. Amelia saw visions of failure and loss, her fears of never finding the truth about the phantom train. Lucas faced his insecurities about his abilities, seeing himself as a failure in the eyes of his father. Elena confronted her doubts about her art, seeing her creations mocked and discarded. Jake faced his guilt and regret, seeing the faces of those he felt he had let down. The friends supported each other, offering words of encouragement and strength. They reminded each other of the memories they had retrieved, the doubts they had overcome, and the choices they had made. Together, they found the strength to confront their shadows and push through the valley. At the heart of the Valley of Shadows, they found a glowing portal, its light piercing through the darkness. The conductor appeared beside them, his expression filled with a mixture of pride and solemnity. You have faced the trials of the unknown and confronted your deepest fears, he said. Now, you stand at the threshold of the final revelation. Beyond this portal lies the truth about the phantom train and the ultimate purpose of your journey. With a sense of determination and unity, the friends stepped through the portal, finding themselves in a place that defied description, a realm where time and space seemed to blend together, and the boundaries of reality were fluid. In this realm, they encountered the spirit of the phantom train, a luminous, ethereal being that radiated wisdom and compassion. The spirit spoke to them, its voice a harmonious blend of many voices. You have journeyed far and faced many trials, the spirit said. The phantom train is not just a legend, but a manifestation of the human spirit's quest for understanding and self-discovery. Each of you has uncovered a truth about yourselves and your place in the world. Your journey has brought you here, to the heart of the unknown, where dreams and reality converge. The friends felt a sense of awe and wonder as they listened to the spirit's words. They realized that the phantom train was a symbol of their own journey, a journey of self-discovery, growth, and transformation. As the Spirit's light enveloped them, they felt a profound sense of peace and clarity. They understood that their journey had not only brought them closer to the truth about the phantom train, but it also revealed the deeper truths about themselves and their interconnectedness with the world. With a final, gentle surge of light, the spirit of the phantom train guided them back to the train, where they found themselves once more in the familiar surroundings of their carriage. The conductor smiled at them, his eyes filled with a knowing light. "Your journey is complete," he said. "You have discovered the truth about the phantom train and, more importantly, about yourselves. Remember the lessons you have learned and the strength you have found. Your journey does not end here, it continues, wherever the path may lead." The friends nodded, feeling a deep sense of gratitude and fulfillment. They knew that their journey had changed them in ways they could not yet fully comprehend, but they were ready to face whatever lay ahead, knowing they had the strength and the wisdom to navigate the unknown. As the train carried them back to Eldoria, the friends sat together, reflecting on their journey and the bonds they had forged. They knew that the legend of the phantom train would continue to inspire and guide future generations, just as it had guided them. And so, the phantom train disappeared into the midst of the whispering woods once more, leaving behind a legacy of courage, discovery, and the enduring power of the human spirit.